All right, welcome back after a big summer hiatus. Distance from center. I'm Trent Finlayson,
I'm John Horton.
and here we go. This is the world's episode. John,
Right,
what
we
do you
just
got?
we just wrapped up World Championships. Want to give props to a number of people that won gold. Women's tricks first. Anna Gay, fantastic, second generation world class skier in her family. Of course, her dad is Russell Gay from Masterline. And then it brings us to men's tricks. Pato Font from Mexico. I don't know if this is a first ever gold medal from Mexico, but it was amazing. And to all you slalom guys out there that are not interested in tricks, go back and watch the trick finals. It was amazing. As an old-time trick skier who doesn't trick that often, I was just staggered by the whole event.
I was too.
Joel Poland's handle pass, Adam Picos's toe pass reminded me of his dad.
Big time.
Corey, it was fantastic. Women's jump and men's jump, zero surprise. Ryan Dodd took the gold in men's jump. Of course, Freddie Krueger was home with a injury. Jacinta Carroll wins women's jump, which brings us to overall. Whitney McClintock does it again. She's had a couple of world overall titles. Is that correct,
Yeah.
Trent? Do you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I quite certain in '09. I'm not sure beyond that, but
Right. Right. And, the interesting story is that it's usually really tight, her and Regina Jaquess. Regina was right there except for a bad trick ride. Regina actually was ahead in slalom and jump, but Whitney, being consistent across all three events, took home the gold. And that brings us to men's overall. Martin Coleman takes the win, previous world overall champion. Adam Settlemeyer takes the silver. Both of those guys from the Czech Republic. Joel Poland from Britain takes third.
Mhm.
So,
and those guys, all three of those guys, they're how well-rounded they are. I just haven't seen anything like it. And again, we've talked about this, but you've got to go back to a few years where Patrice suddenly learned how to slalom and jump almost to the
Right.
level of everyone else. But those guys, I mean, they're mid 41, they're jumping, 210, 215, and obviously, tricking close to 11. So it's mind-boggling.
yeah. Okay, we're slalom skiers, so love the three event stuff, but let's talk about women's slalom. Trent, what did you see in women's slalom? How exciting was that?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely incredible. Let's just run off for the win. You don't get to see that very often. So it was. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. The given the conditions, the level of skiing was crazy high, and then just to watch it all come down to 2 years of training. It was between since the last World Championships, and then to get to watch Manon and Regina, two of the best three on the planet. You absolutely knew it was going to be either her, Regina, or Whitney going for the win, and to watch them run off for a world title was incredible.
It's amazing. So they went out in the finals, and they both got. I'm looking at my notes. They both got 3 at 39, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they tied and came back, and Regina came out first, and she ran 38 off the dock,
Yep.
and then came back at 39, and she got what looked like a decent start into one, huge wheelie, couldn't get around two. Minot came out after her, and 38 was pretty scrappy. I think everybody was a little bit nervous for her, but somehow she ran it. What she didn't know, I don't think, at the moment she was running her 38, was the U.S. team was protesting Regina's score because they thought she might have gotten a piece of 2 at 39. And so Minot didn't know, I'm assuming. I'm not sure. But then she went out and got around 1, got around 2, and stood up for the full 2 for the title. But there was a moment on the webcast where we all didn't know if there was going to be another runoff.
Yes, I mean, as if there wasn't already enough
Right.
drama, but yeah, it was incredible. Really, really cool to watch. And then the cool thing is we shift over to men's, and it was a 3-way runoff for the entire podium,
Which is amazing. Just fantastic. That brings us Will Asher, Freddie Winter, and Joel Howley all ran 2 at 39, right? 2:39 for the tie.
2:41.
2:41. Sorry, 10:2 is 41, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I'm an imperial guy. Give me feet and inches. 2:41, which that's as good as anybody skied on the site for the entire week, as I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all came back, and well, Trent, you're the pro slalom skier here. You walk us through how that runoff went.
Oh, I mean, again, like this just doesn't happen, right? So,
No.
Yeah, I can't even remember who went first coming back after.
I think
3 twos.
I think no, Fred went off first.
Yeah.
And I can't watching his 39 down, his attempt to run 39 off the dock. It didn't look comfortable.
Yeah.
Messy, odd for Freddie.
Yeah, might have been part of the unpredictable nature of the site, but yeah, I mean it was. I think anyone that looked comfortable was just they were skiing exceedingly well, and even just for those guys to all run 39, I thought was a feat in itself.
Right. And then Hallie went out and ran. Hallie ran 39 off the dock and got 1 at 41. Tried to get to 2-ball and actually broke his ankle in 4 places in the attempt. And then Asher came out last, and I thought he looked fantastic. And then he got to 5-ball. Do you have any idea what happened at 5-ball?
No, not really. He got obviously all kinds of load early off of 4, and it was standing him up, but it still was again, errant roller or whatever it might have been. I don't know, but he definitely looked the most comfortable, which isn't that surprising. It's Will Asher. He's been there 100 times, and seeing him go off the dock last in that scenario, I would have put every bit of money in my wallet at that moment that it was going to be his.
Well, I'd go so far as to say that if it was a 4-buoy course, that would have been the best pass of the weekend. I mean, he looked fantastic.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so that gets us through the results. Trent, how do you feel about the event as a whole, about the conditions, really?
Well, so it's it's the nature of competition. It is what it is. The best person on the day, But that being said, I feel like these things are a whole package, right? So, you might trade off. Okay, we're not gonna have very many spectators here, but the site is incredible. The amenities are amazing. Or conversely, all right, you guys, the conditions aren't great, but we're going to put you guys in front of 30,000 people on Sunday. So there needs to be a trade-off. And unfortunately, what I saw was pretty bad conditions, bordering dangerous, certainly for the jumpers, and no spectators. So it's just it's a confusing mix. I don't get it.
Right. So even Ryan Dodd went on the webcast and without any hesitation said that the conditions were unacceptable and unsafe, and it was ridiculous for an event at this level.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty ballsy of Ryan.
Yeah, and
I
to
commend
say
him.
and to say it in the moment of of passion, when he had just met his goal, a 3-peat world champion, to still have the presence to make that statement in that moment, it's super commendable. It's I get it, and I think he'd be the first person to say how much he appreciates skiing a pro event at a place like downtown Melbourne. But again, when there's no one in the stands anyway, what's the point? We're all willing to let performance take a slight backseat to growing our sport, but skiing on a bad site in front of no people, it's not really doing much to grow the sport.
I don't know enough about the politics and process of the sanctioning, and I want to assume that the site organizers believed their site was good enough. But there's something wrong. There's something wrong in the process, right? Regardless of fault, I don't know if it's IWWF or if it's the site organizers, or if it's that it's so expensive to put on these events that better sites are discouraged, and so just somebody with deep pockets is going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge upfront cost for the organizing committee, and for me to say it's $250,000 is I know that's not factual. That's just the information I've been told.
Right.
I know there's a substantial amount of money that gets paid to the IWSF just to be able to host the event. So
hey, Trent, we're out of time.